America, we got to get back to doing what's expected of us as free citizens in this democracy. That means being tolerant, being respectful, staying informed, and being engaged. I'm former Congressman Joe Walsh. Follow me here and join the millions of Americans who are renewing their social contract with each other. The social contract, it's on us. Here we go, TikTok. Good morning. Good morning. It's Wednesday. It's hump day, and I'm pissed off. I am just freaking pissed off. And I'm pissed off at Democrats this morning. Look, here's, we're going to jump right into it. America, last November, knowingly elected a horrible guy. We did. And even a lot of Trump's hardcore supporters know he's a bad guy. Even a lot of MAGA, even a lot of Trump's hardcore supporters would never do business with Trump, would never work for Trump, would never let their daughter or their wife anywhere near Trump, would never lend money to Trump, don't like Trump, understand that. Even a lot of Trump's own supporters, TikTok, know that Donald Trump is the opposite of what we teach our children to be. But man, so many people voted for Trump because the Democrats just suck. Can't say this enough. Yeah, we're living in a populist moment. And yeah, average regular people are pissed off about the border, about crime, about the price of eggs, and all of that. I get all of that. And Trump's a demagogue. He's a damn good demagogue. He's a damn effective demagogue. And he was able to fool enough people to thinking that like he cared about any of this shit. He doesn't. But then over here, the Democrats, what are they? Trump won. And I've said this before. Why am I yelling? Johnny, I'm pissed off. I've said this before. Trump won because Americans knowingly chose the asshole, that's Trump, over the political party that most Americans thought was elitist and snobby and looked down on them. Did you hear me, Democrats? And I'm telling you, I know this because I was out there campaigning every single day for Kamala Harris. And most regular people told me, Joe, I know Trump's an asshole, but the Democrats look down on me, and America in November chose the asshole. And now we're reaping the consequences of that because we have a lawless tyrant in the White House. But man, the Democrats gave them nothing last year. They chose the asshole over this elitist party that regular working class people didn't think understood them, cared about them, connected to them, or would fight for them. So they picked the guy who lies to them over the party that dismisses them. Democrats, that's your problem. And so he wins. And he's been president now for 13 weeks. And for 13 weeks, Donald Trump has been wreaking havoc on this country's institutions. He's been lighting a match to the Constitution every single day. He's attacking every single day everything that is and is supposed to be America. And 13 weeks in, the Democratic Party is just sitting there with their thumbs up their butts. Man, you got a guy, Donald Trump, in the White House right now who has set this country on fire, our democracy on fire, the rule of law on fire. And Democrats sit over there in the corner. They don't know what to do. They're hesitating. They're thinking. They're hemming and hawing. Maybe. What do we do? How do we fight? Blah, 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 blah. They don't know what to do. as this man tears down this 249-year-old experiment in democracy, the Democrats sit there with their thumbs up their butts. They don't know how to respond. My God, man. And this this headline yesterday set me off. Keith, I think we got it. It's the Axios headline about the Democrats. And I mean, stop for a moment. Keep that up for a second, Keith. Let me give you the context, everybody. So Donald Trump, the tyrant in the White House, the one who doesn't give a fuck about due process, who doesn't give a damn about the Constitution, Trump knows that his administration made a mistake and sent an innocent man into a foreign terrorist prison. And the Supreme Court has told Trump, get him back to America. Trump is ignoring the Supreme Court. And in the meantime, an innocent man, because of a mistake the Trump administration acknowledged to making, sits in an El Salvador prison. No due process. A complete destruction of the Constitution of this country. He's been sitting down there for 2.5, 3 weeks, this innocent Maryland man. And here's the headline. Top House Dems trying to send a delegation to El Salvador. Keep that up, Keith. Look at that headline, TikTok. All of this going on. How many other innocent people in that El Salvador terrorist prison? We know of at least 3 others. We know that 90% of the people sent down on the airplanes into that prison had no criminal record. An innocent man, our government fucked up and put him in that prison without any due process. The Supreme Court has said, bring him home. And Democrats sit around in a little huddle, trying. That word just grabbed me in that headline. Trying to send a delegation to El Salvador. Scoop! Top House Dems are trying to send a delegation to El Salvador. My God, you can get rid of it, Keith. My God, Democrats. You're trying to send a delegation down to El Salvador? You're trying to figure out how to find an airplane and send a couple Democrats down to El Salvador? You're trying? Thinking about maybe, possibly sending a delegation down there? My God, Democrats. Every House Democrat should be down in El Salvador. Every Senate Democrat should be down in El Salvador. The entire Democratic Party should be down in El Salvador. You're trying to put together a delegation? My God, every one of you should be down there demanding to see Abrigio Garcia, demanding he be freed and brought back to this country. You should be, every House Democrat should be down there in El Salvador waiting to fly him back up with you. My God, Democrats. Think outside the box, Democrats. You have a tyrant in the White House who is purposely ignoring due process. Think outside the box. Don't try to figure out how to send a few members down to El Salvador. God damn it. Put every Democrat on an airplane and make them live down there until this man is freed. My God, go big, Democrats, or go home. Go big or go home. We've got everything our founding fathers feared in the White House. And you're the opposition party, Democrats. And you're still trying to figure out how do you maybe possibly respond in a little bit of a way to what Trump is doing. No maybe. No possibly. No half measures. Like this isn't the time, Democrats, to be politicians. This is the time to be Americans who just happen to be elected members of Congress, right? Look at it like that, Democrats. You're not politicians. You are American citizens who just happen to be in Congress. America is under attack. The man in the White House, that guy in the White House, he's attacking America every day, who we are, what we should be. He attacks decency every day. He attacks the rule of law every day. He attacks democracy every day. I could go on and on and on. I don't have time, Democrats. You don't have time, Democrats, to try to figure out what you should maybe possibly do in response to this. Democrats just suck. When people ask me, I do a lot of European media, and when they ask me, how the hell did you elect Trump again? Right? He's a horrible guy. He's an authoritarian. He doesn't believe in democracy. He doesn't believe in the rule of law. He's siding with Putin. Oh my God, Joe, they'll ask me in the United Kingdom, how did you elect him? And I go, I go through my litany, but I always end with, and you know what? The Democrats just suck. We've got two parties in America. Europe, we've only got two major political parties. And one of our major political parties, yeah, it's a bad thing. It's authoritarian embracing cult, but our other major political party just sucks. They got nothing. They are feeble. They are weak. They are small-minded. They can't think outside a box. They don't know how to go big or go home. They don't know how to go big. They don't know how to meet this. Maybe that's it, Democrats. Meet the moment. Meet the moment. Everything our founding fathers feared. That's what we've got in the White House right now. My God, meet the moment. That means these are unprecedented times. This calls for like really big stuff. A lot of fighting, a lot of outside the box shit. Everything you can do to shut down Washington, everything you can do to rally the American people. Like, for instance, if you're thinking about, there's an innocent man sitting in an El Salvador prison that we put there against our Constitution, against our laws. We made a mistake. Man, if I'm a Democratic member of Congress, I'd have been down there 2 weeks ago. I'd be sleeping outside that prison, demanding this man be freed. A delegation, Democrats? You want to try to figure out how to send a delegation to El Salvador? Every damn one of you should be down there. How about that? How about every Democratic member of Congress down there? How about you fight for? Here's the thing, Dems. This is just one thing Trump is doing. This is just one lawless, tyrannical, unconstitutional thing Trump is doing. I don't care if you don't give a damn about this guy named Garcia who sits in that jail. You're fighting for due process. You're fighting for the Constitution. You're fighting for America, because this is not what America is, and this is not what America does. We are the land of due process, the home of due process. Everybody in this country, citizen, non-citizen, according to our laws, according to our Constitution, is entitled to due process. How about you just defend that? The guy in the White House, the tyrant in the White House, 2 days ago said he wants to send American citizens down there. My God, Democrats, if I were a Democratic member of Congress and the president of the United States said he wanted to send American citizens to foreign jails, my God, I'd be pounding this president every single day. I'd be leading marches outside the White House every single day when I'm not in El Salvador. Dems. And it's been this way for 3 months. I for the life of me, how were Democrats ever caught off guard? How were Democrats not ready from day one? Trump told us what he was going to do and what he was going to be. He told us, he told you from day one, man. And from day one, he's just been, it's been a blitzkrieg, right? Attacking America, attacking democracy, attacking the rule of law. And you were caught flat-footed, Democrats. And the problem, Democrats, is you haven't met this moment. I can't think of a Democrat who's met this moment, who said, screw it, ripped off my sport coat, ripped off whatever. I'm going to fight this bastard in the White House. This guy in the White House is a traitor. He's standing with Putin. He's a Russian asset. Hell, America doesn't stand with Putin, Russia. We stand with the free world. We stand with Ukraine. Everything Trump is doing, man, Democrats should be just punching him with everything they've got. The country yearns for an opposition party. And every day it's the same with the Democrats. Every day it's the same. A little bit here. Let's have a meeting over here to figure out what we might do next week over there. While this guy is burning this nation's house down right now. So I'm in a bad mood yesterday because of this again. And I want to shake up Democrats because of this again. We see this with every issue Trump's doing, everything he's doing. He lies every day, and Democrats let him get away with his lies every single day. And then last night, I see this guy out there. I see the former president out there. I actually thank you, Keith. Last night, the mood I'm in all day, just so pissed off at Democrats again for not understanding the moment we live in, for not meeting the moment. And I'm despondent, TikTok. I'm despondent, right? I mean, imagine how I feel. We got a tyrant in the White House, everything our founding fathers feared, and I got no opposition. You got no opposition party. We got no opposition party. And by the way, there's not a third party coming. There's not a fourth party coming. There ain't some savior coming. This is the mood I'm in. I walked my dog last night. I come home and I look at this and I find out that Joe freaking Biden was out in Chicago last night giving some speech. No! I don't want to see Joe Biden anywhere. I do not want to hear from Joe Biden anywhere. We are in The mess we're in, Democrats, to a large degree because of Joe Biden. Joe Biden, more than any other Democrat, helped give us Donald Trump. Joe Biden's 210 years old. Joe Biden's ego, yes, his old man ego, wouldn't allow him to gracefully walk off the stage back in 2022. And he stuck around because he's a bitter old guy with an ego. He stuck around and he got up on that stage last, end of June with Trump. And he looked like a 350-year-old man. And boom, the die was cast. Kamala Harris gets in. She ran a great campaign, did the best she could. But the die was cast because all the regular voters out there who believe Trump is bad, oh, look at the Democrats. They do the same thing, Joe. They've been propping up this old man. They all suck, Joe. The system's rigged everywhere, Joe, regular people think. And they thought that because of Joe Biden. And he's out there yesterday. I don't want to hear from Biden. Biden's not the voice we need to hear. Biden's not the opposition party. Biden's not thinking outside the box. Biden's a freaking institutionalist. Again, to a large degree, Trump won because of Biden. Joe Biden, like me, Joe Biden, like Kamala Harris, called Donald Trump during the campaign an existential threat to democracy, a fascist. And then Trump wins and Biden gives him a big bear hug, invites him over. They have a slumber party at the White House. They have cookies and tea and Biden goes to his inauguration, right? Biden normalizes Trump. Think about that. Joe Biden normalizes Trump after Trump won. And Trump knows when he's having cookies and tea at the White House with Biden, Trump knows how he's going to lay siege to this country once he's sworn in. And Joe Biden normalizes him. Democrats, no, I don't want to see or hear from Joe Biden. He ain't the voice we need. He can't go big. He's too old. You have a problem, Democrats. The bad man in the White House will keep winning, even though he's doing bad stuff. As long as you, Democrats, cannot be a fighting alternative. A passionate, pissed off, fighting alternative for what America is and for what America should be. If you can't be that opposition party, like it's not good enough to say that Trump sucks. He does. It's not good enough anymore. You can't win, Democrats. Just saying that. But if you can't say, if you can't say, Democrats, from the highest mountaintop, Donald Trump is un-American. He's anti-democracy. He's a threat to the rule of law. If you can't say any of that, Democrats, and then say, and here's what we are, here's what America should be, here's what America's always been, this is why our democracy matters, this is what we're going to fight for. Dems, if you can't do any of that, this tyrant in the White House is going to keep winning. And I got to tell you, these first 13 weeks of Trump's administration have given me no great hope that Democrats understand what they need to do and who they need to be and how they need to fight. They didn't understand during the campaign that we're living in a populist moment. Regular people are pissed off. Democrats can't relate to regular people. They don't know why regular people are pissed off. So again, regular people voted for the demagogue who lies to them, but they at least thought he understood why they were pissed off. So Democrats missed the moment during the entire campaign. They have missed this populist moment we've been living in for a long, long time. Now we're in this moment where we actually have a tyrant in the White House. And Democrats are missing this moment. They do not know how to respond. They do not know how to fight. And I'm sorry, it's great that Bernie and AOC are out there doing rallies, talking to 10,000 people at a pop. Bernie ain't going to be your savior. Bernie's 83 years old. And I'm sorry, I got a lot of respect for AOC. Sorry, Dems. Not going to happen. She ain't ready. She ain't ready for prime time. She ain't ready to be president. So stop. And quit worrying so much about that. Who's going to be your nominee? Damn it, Democrats. Just be a fighting force. Just be a fighting force, right? Fight for America. Fight for America. Fight for transgender Americans. Fight for straight Americans. Fight for gay Americans. Fight for Americans who are here legally. Fight for permanent legal residents. Fight for people on student visas, because they're getting yanked. Over 1,000 student visas Trump has pulled right now already. Every day he's pulling more student visas. Fight for them, Democrats. Fight for people who come into this country and claim asylum and then are thrown into El Salvador prisons. Fight for them, Democrats. Every single one of you go down to El Salvador. Don't try to maybe put together a delegation. And please, Democrats, keep Joe Biden away. America doesn't need to hear from him. No, not at all. Final thought today, guys. The protests in this country must be fucking huge and must be bigger and bigger and bigger every time we protest. I sit before you this morning, TikTok. We don't have a Congress. We do not have an independent functioning Congress. Our founders gave us 3 independent branches. We've only got 2 right now. Congress is no longer an independent branch of government, so that's gone. The courts right now are utterly struggling and overwhelmed. We can't count on the courts. And the tyrant in the White House will ignore the courts. It all comes down to us. It all comes down to the American people. And I was thinking before I went to bed last night, before I fell asleep last night, I was thinking that the single most important thing all of us can do right now is physically protest, is get out there in our communities, in our streets, whenever these giant protests are held, these nationwide protests are held. I think the most important thing we all can do right now, resistance, is protest. Because I think come this June, this July, if we have 100 million Americans out there nationwide protesting every ugly, cruel, un-American, indecent, unlawful thing Trump's doing, if we have 100 million Americans this summer from coast to coast in every state out protesting, That can't be ignored. Maybe the Democratic Party will never get their act together, but 100 million people out protesting will demand change, will lead to change. Keep it simple. There's a lot we can do. There's a lot you can do. There's a lot I'm doing. All of us. Focus on the protests. Focus on protesting in your town or in a city close to you whenever there are protests. Protests around the country. This is an organic movement. Another big day coming up this Saturday, April 19th. Nationwide protests again. There will be protests in every single state in this country, just like there was 2 weeks ago on April 5th. Get out there. Get out there. There will be people protesting in a town or city near you. Be a part of it. Be counted. These protests have to be huge. And they have to be growing. And if they're huge and they continue to grow, it will lead to change. We're the final backstop. So find a protest in your neighborhood, in your state this weekend. Go check out Indivisible. Go check out that group 5501. 5501. Go to our website, oneflaginitiative.org. We're listing, right, the groups and everybody who's going to be out protesting this weekend on the 19th. Go there, oneflaginitiative.org. That's all one word. We'll direct you on where you can go to find the information for the protest this Saturday, the 19th, in your state, in your town, in your city, oneflaginitiative.org. It's the single most important thing we can do. If these protests are not big, we lose America. If these protests are not big, our democracy falls. The good thing, the cool thing, as of now, they're fucking huge. The protests are huge. And every time there have been nationwide protests, they're getting bigger. We have to keep it up. It is the only thing that will push our political class. And damn it, let's force Trump into doing what Trump wants to do. Right? Trump is dying to use the military against the American people on our streets. Let's give him the opportunity. Let's put 150 million people out on our streets this summer. Let's protest peacefully. Let's engage in civil disobedience if we must. We are the last line of defense. Not your Democratic member of Congress, not some judge. We, the American people, we are the last line of defense. Let's get in Trump's grill. Let's pound Trump politically by just massive numbers of people out there protesting. Coming up this Saturday, the 19th, is the next big protest day. Find the group in your area. Again, go to oneflaginitiative.org. We'll give you all the information on where these protests are. Thank you so much for listening. By the way, my Substack, my kingdom for my Substack, Social Contract with Joe Walsh. Check out the Substack we put out yesterday. We announced and explained the new direction our Substack is now going. We're getting out into America every week and having face-to-face conversations with the American people across the political spectrum. Check it out. It's great stuff. We're filming these conversations. We're all going to learn from and be inspired by these conversations. Check it all out at my Substack, socialcontractwithjoewalsh.substack.com. Have a glorious day. Thanks, TikTok. Thanks, everybody. Be brave.
Thank you for listening. Remember to listen, share, and follow The Social Contract with Joe Walsh on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and everywhere great podcasts are found. And be sure to leave a 5-star review. This has been The Social Contract.